You noble diggers, all stand up now.
Hello my friends, and welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about Civil War II, Electric Boogaloo. I'm sorry I can't be there live, but I need the maps to make the point.
Statements from foreign security advisors, international security experts saying we're facing down high probability of civil war. And I know it sounds crazy.
We are in a cold civil war. Civil war. Talk of civil war.
We're in a civil war. We are in it.
Civil war. Civil war. Or a second civil war.
We're going to respond to this hog, this illiterate filth, this beanie-wearing moron. And the way we're going to do that is by looking at some maps. This is the map at the end of the last American Civil War. It is called the Anaconda Plan. The Union imposed a blockade on the sea and then gained forts up and down the Mississippi River and enforced a blockade that separated southwest from southeast and eventually starved the engines of war. Grant was victorious in the east, but really it was the strategic play that mattered. This is the map at the start of the Civil War. This is probably what mattered last time, and it's why Abraham Lincoln was so slow, so reticent last time, because he wanted to win a bunch of these border states over to the cause before he conducted his campaign, right? But the real campaign that the Republicans think is coming, they think might look more like this, right? Because of the electoral map under Clinton. But this is a worst case scenario for the Democrats, right? Joe Biden won in 2020 and his map looks much better, but even under Kamala Harris, the map looks much more like the old Civil War, right? And the boundaries are not actually what people think they are, because what this map implies is completely hallucinatory. It is completely imaginary. What a real map would look like in the Civil War of today would be this. This map is representative of the populations of the cities that and where they vote, right? So Los Angeles, 30 million, New York, 15 million, Chicago. This is the representation you should keep in mind when you think about a civil war, right? And a civil war would be so bloody, but because the Republicans hold formal power in that old map that we were just looking at, there would be the reverse of last time. They would go on the offensive to start. There would be sieges around these cities, right? But if you've listened to this channel before, you'll know I've said that civil war can't really happen because of the propensity for nuclear escalation, right? Because nuclear forces might be employed if one side feels desperate. But I kind of lied, right? There is a pathway to civil war if one liberal side so chose.
This is Major Cameron. Mr. President, this is the nuclear football. It'll be with you whenever you leave the White House. These are the launch codes, verification codes, a listing of every classified location capable of launching nuclear weapons. In the event of an imminent strike, you can greenlight it using this phone. It works anywhere on Earth, as well as beneath it.
Do you need my fingerprints or an eye scan or something?
No, sir. It's not like the movie.
You'll notice that the nukes are everywhere, and in reality, they're all in the western mountains in the desert, right? And, well, the missiles at least. And those could be knocked out, and not themselves, but the command, Stratcom at Virginia. And the nuclear triad is vulnerable, right? The submarines will go to who controls the Navy, a Democrat institution. Bombers can be destroyed on the ground, and those missiles have a central control. And don't let Palantir tech bros sell you that the nuclear triad is gone. They're not military strategists. They're tech bros. They're trying to sell you something. And back to this map, though. What would trench warfare look like under the conditions of today? Well, let me just tell you that it would be horrific. It would be so much more worse than you can imagine. A decentralized campaign. Conservatives think they know how bad war can be, but they don't even know how bad it was the last time. So the last time we conscripted minorities, right? Think about the minorities available for conscription this time. And here's a scene from Martin Scorsese.
That document makes you a citizen. This one makes you a private in the Union Army. Now go fight for your country. Next.
And what would come out of this victory, inevitable victory for the North? Would it be someone like Lincoln, a soft liberal? Maybe if the Allies and the Russians and the Chinese back the North, but it would probably be someone more like Oliver Cromwell, right? A religious figure, someone who is deeply conservative, but moral, right? Willing to follow the trends of the day, doesn't want to stomp on trans people or gay people, really follows the teachings of the Sermon on the Mount. But also maybe this isn't respecting Big Chief Trotsky enough. Maybe there would be a communist take charge, but I doubt it. America is so illiterate, so backwards that I see the Cromwell option as the most likely option. But we still hold out hope that Gavin Newsom is as good as Abraham Lincoln, and his job is easier, because you got to remember that this map is there. Anyways, here's two predictions about how trench warfare will work. No drone warfare.
This is Oerlikon Air Defense Systems. The system consists of a radar, a fire control unit, and a 35mm revolver cannon that can fire up to 1,000 rounds per minute. But what makes this system unique is the type of ammunition it uses, the Advanced Hit Efficiency and Destruction Ammunition, or AHEAD rounds. AHEAD rounds are special projectiles that contain a payload of 152 tungsten sub-projectiles. These sub-projectiles are ejected from the main projectile at a precise moment before reaching the target. The timing of the ejection is calculated by the fire control unit based on the radar data and the ballistic characteristics of the round. The result is a lethal cloud of shrapnel that can destroy or damage any incoming aerial threat, such as drones, rockets, artillery shells, or cruise missiles. The advantage of this technology is that it can effectively counter multiple targets with a high hit probability and a low collateral damage.
And tanks are as obsolete as chariots were in the Bronze Age, late Bronze Age. They're easily destroyed.
Давай, давай, давай!
So it's just going to be trench warfare. Grinding, infantry, trench warfare to achieve this old map. But I don't begrudge the Confederate South their heritage. And to prove that, I've included this cultural artifact of theirs for them.
Oh, way down south in the land of traders, rattlesnakes and alligators. Right away, come away, right away, come away.
Hello, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you. This channel has one mission: to prevent civilizational collapse associated with climate change, to prevent 100 million refugees by 2035, to stop 7 billion from starving to death by 2075. And we will do this through one main vehicle. We mean to unite the Anglosphere. We will do this by convincing the Commonwealth of His Majesty King Charles III to apply for statehood as one. And then with this new power, we will be able to negotiate in good faith with the rest of the world on how to tackle this crisis. Thank you and enjoy.